In the bustling underworld of Hong Kong, there exists a shadowy network of criminal syndicates known for their secrecy, violence, and ruthless business practices. They are the Triads, one of the most feared and influential organized crime groups in the world. Operating across Asia and stretching into North America, Europe, and beyond, their power reaches every corner of the globe. But who are the Triads, and how did they rise from secret brotherhoods fighting for justice to become a criminal empire that makes billions in illicit markets? What if I told you that the Triads control more than just local gangs and street crime? From drug trafficking to human smuggling, their influence spans some of the world's most lucrative and dangerous black markets. Today we'll explore the dark history of the Triads, uncovering their secrets, the scope of their operations, and how they've remained one of the most enduring criminal organizations in modern history. The story of the Triads begins centuries ago in the 17th century China. And here's something surprising: their roots were not originally criminal. The Triads began as secret societies known as Tiandui, or the Heaven and Earth Society, formed to fight against the corrupt Qing dynasty. These brotherhoods were bound by loyalty and a sense of justice, dedicated to protecting Chinese citizens from government oppression. What if I told you that the same rituals, symbols, and codes used in ancient times are still employed by the Triads today? The infamous triangle symbol, representing heaven, earth, and man, remains a key emblem in Triad culture. And while their purpose has changed, their strong sense of brotherhood and loyalty continues to be central to their operations. As political turmoil continued in China, the Triads evolved. By the 19th century, they were no longer just rebellious groups fighting for justice. With the fall of the Qing dynasty and the rise of the Republic of China, many Triad members shifted their focus to illegal activities: smuggling, extortion, and illegal gambling, laying the groundwork for their future as a global crime syndicate. But how did a secret society dedicated to justice become a feared criminal empire? The transformation of the Triads into a worldwide network began in one critical location: Hong Kong. In the 19th and 20th centuries, Hong Kong became the Triads' primary base of operations. With its booming economy and bustling port, Hong Kong was the perfect environment for organized crime to thrive. The city's rapid growth, influx of immigrants, and widespread corruption allowed the Triads to flourish, and they quickly began expanding their influence. But what gave the Triads such an advantage in Hong Kong? It was their ability to adapt. They infiltrated local businesses, politics, and even law enforcement, using bribery, threats, and violence to secure their dominance. They offered protection to businesses, but it came at a price. If you didn't pay, the consequences could be deadly. By the 1960s, the Triads had solidified their control over Hong Kong's criminal underworld. Their operations extended into a wide range of illegal activities, from drug trafficking and illegal gambling to prostitution and human smuggling. But Hong Kong was just the beginning. What if I told you that the Triads weren't satisfied with controlling just one city? Their ambition extended far beyond the borders of Hong Kong. As Chinese immigration spread throughout the world, so did the reach of the Triads. By the 1970s, the Triads had established global networks, using Chinatown districts in major cities as hubs for their operations. The Triad structure was built on a hierarchy designed to protect their leaders, while keeping lower-level members in line. At the top of the organization was the Dragon Head, or the leader, followed by lieutenants and street-level enforcers. This structure allowed them to operate with a level of sophistication and secrecy that made them nearly untouchable. The Triads are known for their wide-reaching criminal operations, many of which are incredibly lucrative. Let's break down some of their key illegal activities that have made them one of the wealthiest criminal organizations in the world. 1. Drug trafficking. The Triads have long been involved in the global drug trade, specifically in the distribution of heroin and methamphetamine. Operating in the Golden Triangle, a region where the borders of Thailand, Laos, and Myanmar meet, they played a key role in the trafficking of heroin from Southeast Asia to the rest of the world. But what sets the Triads apart is their ability to diversify. As drug markets evolve, so do their products. They've been involved in the production and distribution of synthetic drugs, including methamphetamine. What if I told you that even today, the Triads play a pivotal role in smuggling fentanyl and other dangerous substances into the US and Europe, often partnering with other organized crime groups? 2. Human trafficking and smuggling. One of the most disturbing aspects of Triad operations is their involvement in human trafficking. The Triads are known for smuggling people from Asia into Western countries, often for forced labor or prostitution. Victims are lured with false promises of work or a better life, only to be trapped in a cycle of exploitation and abuse. 3. Money laundering. Like any powerful criminal organization, the Triads are experts at laundering money. They use legitimate businesses, particularly restaurants, casinos, and real estate, to hide their illegal profits. Through sophisticated money laundering schemes, they funnel billions into the global financial system, making it incredibly difficult for authorities to track their funds. 4. Illegal gambling and prostitution. Gambling is deeply embedded in Chinese culture, and the Triads have capitalized on this by running illegal gambling dens across Hong Kong and other major cities. These operations bring in massive profits, often fueled by Triad-controlled loan sharks who lend money to gamblers at exorbitant interest rates. Failure to pay back these loans results in violent consequences. The Triads are also heavily involved in running prostitution rings, exploiting vulnerable women and forcing them into sex work, both in Asia and abroad. 5. Cybercrime. The Triads are no strangers to modern technology. In recent years, they've expanded into cybercrime, engaging in everything from hacking to online extortion. Using their vast resources, they've become players in the world of illicit online gambling and even cryptocurrency fraud. As Chinese immigration spread to North America, Europe, and Australia, so did the Triads. Chinatowns in cities like San Francisco, New York, Vancouver, and London became focal points for Triad operations. While they controlled the illegal trade within these communities, their influence extended far beyond. But here's where things get even more complex. The Triads don't operate in isolation. Over the years, they've formed alliances with other international criminal organizations, including the Russian Mafia, Japanese Yakuza, and even Mexican drug cartels. These partnerships have allowed the Triads to expand their influence across continents, creating a global criminal network that's difficult to dismantle. Despite increased pressure from law enforcement, the Triads have adapted to every new challenge. When crackdowns in one country become too intense, they shift their operations to another. This ability to adapt and evolve has allowed them to remain one of the most powerful criminal organizations in the world. As the Triads have expanded their operations, law enforcement agencies across the globe have intensified their efforts to bring down this elusive network. In recent decades, international task forces have been formed to target Triad-related crime, with authorities working tirelessly to disrupt their operations. But despite several high-profile arrests of key Triad leaders, the organization remains as strong as ever. Their code of secrecy and hierarchical structure make it difficult for law enforcement to infiltrate their ranks. Even when one leader is taken down, another quickly takes their place. What if I told you that some experts believe the Triads are now more dangerous than ever? With their ability to leverage modern technology, operate internationally, and form alliances with other powerful crime syndicates, the Triads show no signs of weakening. The Triads have evolved from secret societies with a mission of justice into one of the world's most powerful and dangerous criminal organizations. Their reach extends across the globe, influencing everything from drug trafficking and human smuggling to cybercrime. Despite law enforcement's best efforts, the Triads remain resilient, adaptable, and deeply embedded in the underworld of international crime. As long as there are black markets to exploit and illicit profits to be made, the Triads will continue to operate, pulling the strings from the shadows. Their enduring influence is a stark reminder of the challenges law enforcement faces in the global fight against organized crime. Turn on the notification bell so that you are the first to enjoy the most compelling crime documentaries. If you enjoyed this video, then click here for another video delving into the inner world of the world's most notorious criminal organizations.